Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be taking Pure Chaos to basically just destroy everyone. I have tons and tons of free plays. I actually can't show all of them because I've been playing from time to time when I'm free, and I'm super busy at the moment, getting absolutely destroyed by uni. So I can't show all of the replays, but I did trim this down to 40 just temporarily because I'm playing the Dark Magician stuff, just Dark Magician Curtain, and that's it. And I just keep bricking on the Dark Magician and the Crimson Call. I do hate drawing these cards, and I don't know why, but like when you always play with the one brick in your deck, you always draw it for some reason, which is Dark Magician. I'm sure everyone actually goes through the same thing. As for Crimson Call, it's definitely cuttable. You don't really need to play it. It's just that sometimes like the Crimson Call does come up where I want to go Crimson King, but aside from this, like most of the time it's actually not even coming up. So definitely a cuttable card. I could just replace this with a Mirror Jade is what I'm thinking, or a Chaos Angel. And I did take out the Farah. Farah is great, but sometimes you just open her and you don't have Mind Shuffle to like send her to the grave on turn zero. And you don't have the Ritual Flight and Dark to tribute her and then resummon her. You don't have like a good spell to reveal, so that she is not actually that great, especially since we're playing these two bricks. It makes it even higher that we brick on this. So this is why I actually put her in the side deck. I still want to play her because she's very good. Just not in the main at the moment. When I've changed some things up with the deck, maybe like cut the Crimson Call after, then I can reintroduce her again. As for Ash Blossom, it's so bricky. Ash Blossom is ridiculously bricky. Every hand that I brick with is always Ash Blossom. So I decided, you know what, let me just take the Ash Blossom out. And yeah, aside from this, I did add Cross Shape because I do miss this card. This card is very, very good. And this is it. So let's look at this, guys. Look at all of this. I literally cannot show you all of these. How about we do like branded first? This is like the most recent one I played, so I'm like my memory is fresher, I guess, on this replay. So I know like what plays I made and why I made them. So he is on branded 40, Droll and Lockbird. He plays like the Ecclesia stuff. Now with branded at the moment, you actually can play 40 or like 44 or so, because the deck is in a position where they can just abuse the Ecclesia Synchro. So the deck actually is very viable at 40 to 44. You don't actually need to play 60 anymore. 60 is good still, but I think at the moment, like 45 to like 40 might actually be the better way to play branded because you can afford to play hand drops. That's literally it. And you obviously like your deck becomes more consistent because you play the Fallen of the White Dragon. You want to play two of them and one OG Albas. Okay, so he plays Ash Blossom, Mercurial in hand. That's not good. Called by the Grave. Okay, his hand for going second was actually kind of insane. So look at this. Okay, so in the draw phase, we're going to play around Joel and Lockbird, which he does play. We're gonna go Mind Shuffle. So the reason I did this, I actually could have played around his Ash Blossom, but I don't want to because I want to actually bait out the Ash and also play around Joel at the same time. If he has Ash, he actually wastes the Ash. Why? Because look at this play I'm making. I have Archfiend in hand, and I already have. I'm gonna like search the Black Chaos instead, so I don't actually have to search the Archfiend. Which means if he ashes this, I still have Archfiend in hand. I can just fuse with it using the Cartesia line, and then I still have full combo. So he basically wasted the Ash for no reason, and I still have my Mind Shuffle established. Now, one of the weak points about going for the Granganol line is you don't actually have a consistent Mind Shuffle immediately. You have to go Multiplying Kuriboh, and then you summon Multiplying Kuriboh on the opponent's turn and get Grifo and get access to Mind Shuffle. So you will get it eventually, but it's not immediate, like Crimson Call, right? Um, with this play, when you make this play, you actually do have the Mind Shuffle, it just gets negated, so you can still go for this line and get exactly full combo. Um, so I was hoping he would Ash here, he does not Ash. So now I'm gonna discard the Archfiend. This is all in the draw phase, by the way. So we're making all these searches in the draw phase, so he can't even draw if he had it. So now he Ashes this. I don't think that's a good play. He literally saw me add the Black Chaos. This is only adding a Luster, which I don't necessarily need. So he's gonna Ash the Archfiend, sure. So basically we baited out the Ash, and now we can go full combo the Ecclesia, and we already have like the Chaos full combo anyway, right? He Ashed too late. So we're gonna go Ecclesia Synchro here, I think. Actually, we can't, yes. He's gonna Bestial our Ecclesia. That's a very good play. Now, Bestials can be quite decent against Chaos. They don't kill you, but they can be decent. Like in this scenario, for example, hitting the Ecclesia, they can also hit your Archfiend. If you only have one target, like one of these, and you use the Ritual of Light and Dark, and then they chain a Bestial to like one of these, it actually fizzles the effect of Ritual of Light and Dark. So always make sure you have at least two so that it doesn't get fizzled. So I'm actually going to chain Multiply and Karibo because I'm going to go for an interesting line here. This is why cross shape can be very good. Look at this, okay? We are going to go into cross shape, and then we're going to go activate ritual spell, add back the Grifo. Now, it doesn't matter if you add Grifo or Archfiend here because either way you have to tribute from the hand. And Archfiend, even if I don't tribute it from the hand, I want to keep it for the opponent's turn. I still have to summon it from the hand because I'm going for a Dark Magician line. You don't usually go for this line if you don't play Curtain, because Curtain actually gives you a level 7 body with the OG Dark Magician. And if you don't end on a level 7 body and you don't have something like Harmonia in your hand to actually put up a level 7, then it's not worth it. You just keep the Black Chaos, you don't even go for Demod at all. But because Curtain allows this play, Curtain's very, very insane. So we're going to actually go for this. Look at this. We put this on the hard chain just so we can actually add back the ritual spell, and then we can draw two, and that guarantees that I can actually keep one of the newly drawn cards in my hand. So let's see what we draw. We draw Harmonia, Corrupted Ritual. This is why cross shape can be very insane. Now we drew two with this. We can also draw on the opponent's turn. We can also revive on the opponent's turn. So we can revive the Albaz, and then obviously like NBA. Before we end our turn, we're going to go Archfiend, shuffle back this. So reviving back the Fallen White Dragon actually gives us access to this, and then we can go OG Albaz and get all the interruptions off of this as if we had Ecclesia Synchro. So this is all from cross shape, so that's insane. We're gonna discard probably Harmonia and the Ritual spell, and then keep the newly drawn Corrupted Ritual. Otherwise, we would have to discard both new cards, or the Harmonia that we already had in hand. So now we can go Corrupted Ritual. We are going to actually add Celtic Sage. You'll see why. We're gonna go Demod, add a Curtain. Curtain, summon OG Dark Magician, add Gaze of Demise, and then we're gonna do this, shuffle back the Black Chaos and the Ecclesia. You want to shuffle them back because we obviously want to search Black Chaos at some point, and then we need the Ecclesia Synchro Engrave. I mean the Ecclesia Engrave, so that we can go into the Albaz. After we activate Gaze, summon Dragoon here, and then revive the Albaz. So we want to make some more room, so we go SP Little Knight and also get this Engrave. Just in case he has like a Fallen the Virtuous or something. I don't know what he's playing, but he's used a Bestial. So Branded is definitely like on my list here. Okay, so we are going to do this. Okay. Now he actually, okay, for going second, like these were very powerful. And the fact that he has Called by the Grave is insane. Like these three cards are actually ridiculous. But his actual hand for making plays is actually not good. He only has Albion. He actually has no plays at the moment. But you guys know, Albion draws always Branded Fusion. It's literally the most insane draws ever. So we're going to go Gaze of Demise to make the play that I was talking about. We go like Dragoon here, and then we revive Albaz, and then go Ecclesia. And now we have all of these interruptions, which is going to be very insane. But he is going to actually call by the Demod. That's quite annoying because it stops a lot of interruptions actually. It stops Dragoon, stops the Ecclesia, plus the Fusion. That's 3 interruptions, 3 very powerful interruptions gone. One of them being an Omni Negates. So now this guarantees that our Archfiend is going to resolve, and we can add a Philosopher Soldier. So he sends a sword. I'm actually going to spin back my Dark Magician, just so I can summon Celtic Sage, draw 3. Okay, let's pause here. So he actually draws into Droll and Akbar. That's really funny. Because he could actually Droll me after I add, but this is the only add that I do on his turn. So it literally makes no difference. I was going to draw these 3. One of them we can multiply and Karibo. That's actually very good. Draw into Black Chaos plus multiply and Karibo. Yeah, that is actually insane. And the best thing about this is that I can actually like discard the Dark Magician because I don't need it anymore. It was just a body on the board. And if you're wondering like how are you going to get another body, we have Harmonia in hand already. So yeah, we would discard the Corrupted Ritual plus this, and then keep these in hand, and then we have Tag and Tag Out with this, and we have this for a Griffin play. And then we would also have, obviously, Double Interruption with Harmonia, and then we also have SP Little Knight. We have to use SP before the Harmonia, though, just so it doesn't get turned off. He actually did not draw into a play, so he probably just loses here. Yep, okay. That was interesting game 1. You guys saw like how we play through hand traps, and how like cross shape can actually make your plays even better. So now he is going first. His hand looks not bad. Ash Blossom Droplet. Decide. Okay, that's actually decent. Our hand is also decent here. So he goes Aliber, add. I am not gonna use Harmonia. You want to wait for Harmonia because it's actually hard to like hand trap them with Harmonia properly. So yeah, Branded is quite resilient to a lot of things. So he's gonna go Fall of the White Dragon. This is not where you Harmonia. You definitely don't Harmonia the Fall of the White Dragon. That's usually not a good play. Ecclesia Synchro. So you're probably wondering, okay, this is probably the best time to use the Harmonia. This is actually incorrect. If you, in some scenarios, it can be correct, but in this scenario, because we have Grifo, it's actually incorrect because if we pop this now, I can go Packbit, push this into the back row to get this engrave, and then add my ritual. And then this can actually just like be in the grave to check my mind shuffle at any point. And that is not good. We don't want that to happen. So actually just wait for the Cartesia because usually Cartesia actually screws them up if you pop the Cartesia because they will have to actually fuse with the cards in their hand that they don't want to fuse with. So if he has like Albaz in hand that he wants to keep, he actually has to fuse with it. And sometimes they just don't even have like monsters to fuse with. So this is where we go Harmonia. We are going to pop the Cartesia. We are going to send Cloud Beast. Now, okay. Two things you always think about here is if the opponent has Ash, you always go Packbit because Packbit discards this. And then it's going to attempt to add a ritual. They might Ash this. And if they Ash it, then you can go Grifo for the ritual spell and still add your ritual. If you want to get greedy, which I'm doing here, because if I get greedy here, I actually just win the duel immediately. I would go Cloud Beast to spin whatever he summoned if he had a target, but he obviously doesn't have a target, so we're going to spin back the Aliber. So what I would do is I would go Mind Shuffle, search a ritual, and then discard the Archfiend. And then also search the other ritual. And I'll have a level 7 on the board, and I have Corrupted Ritual plus this for my turn. This is auto GG. Even against Branded, like they can't play through all that. But luckily for him, he actually does have the Ash Blossom to stop us. Okay, so he's gonna Ash. Nice. And then he goes Disciple, Nadir Servant, I mean. And then he's going to set a Forbidden Droplet. This is an unknown, I don't know what that is. So here, you don't go Mind Shuffle immediately, just wait. Wait for them to like make their plays, because I can see that they have Dogma, which they will almost always search a Fallen Virtuous off of this. He has Albion to set something. He has Titanclad. So he's gonna make a chain here where he was gonna go like for multiple different things. He probably should have maybe kept the Fallen Virtuous in hand for the end phase. I mean, it is the end phase. I just mean like the end of the end phase. But yeah, I actually don't think he could even do that because he was locked with Nadir Servant. He can't summon from the extra deck. So what I was thinking is maybe like use Titan to like summon Albaz, fuse with this. So I don't have a body, but he can't because he's locked out of the extra deck at the moment. So he had to do that eventually. It doesn't matter. So we wait and then we chain to basically spin it back, summon an Archfiend. Cool. And then he is going to summon Quem. Yep, that's usually what they save the Titan for. Then he is going to go Cartesia. Notice he's actually a good player. With Branded, he's a pretty decent player. He added Albaz earlier so that he can fuse with it with the Cartesia on my turn. So he actually has like his full board here. This is full board for Branded, pretty much. So he has Cartesia to fuse. He has this to revive. It can revive like Albaz, go into Ecclesia. Basically just another way to actually get to your Ecclesia if one of these gets stopped. He has this, which can summon, I think they only play one kit. What else can this summon? Like, you don't want to summon the other Springen's kit. I guess can summon like Albaz as well. Lots of them like depend on Albaz, so I usually just wait for the Albaz. The two things I usually try to stop is the Cartesia fuse and the Albaz trying to fuse. These are like the main ways they actually get to their stuff. Then he does not have a Fallen Virtuous. I thought this could be Fallen Virtuous, so I was trying to play around it, but it's actually Droplet. And he set a Branded Retribution. This is decent. I think he did this because I have Harmonia in hand, and he knows because I spun it back. So as soon as I use it, he can actually cut off the chain immediately, ensuring that this doesn't get like dropleted or stopped, right? Now, if I had Droplet, I obviously know this is public knowledge, so I'd actually just use Droplet instead of Harmonia, just so we can play around the Retribution. So we go Grifo in the draw phase to set a Chaos Hats. He can't use this except in the main phase, and he can't use this except in the main phase, so he's main phase locked at the moment. So we're gonna set this instead of Mind Shuffle, and then if he uses anything that is gonna be threatening, I can Chaos Hats it. So we go Harmonia here, and then he's gonna go Retribution, just get this out of the way immediately. He goes into Albion, and then he's gonna Chain Link Block. This, like the Chain Link blocking he's actually doing here is very good, because he is preventing Chaos Hats from being used on a good target. So you can see he goes Albion, Chain Link blocks it here with the Quem, and then he goes for the Chaos, and Chain Link blocks it with the Albaz. But again, like Chaos Hats can be used on any monster, it doesn't matter. We're going to use it here, and then we are going to put any 3 spells that we want. So we basically search these 3 spells. Look at that. Super Polymerization, Pot of P, and Ritual of Light and Dark. Here, if he doesn't have Ash, it's game over. But you'll see what happens. Pops my Archfiend. Sure, we're going to send Ritual Spell. Add a Black Chaos. I could, since Chaos Hats actually flipped down the Archfiend, I can actually flip it back face up because I never changed its battle position or attacked with it. So even if it was flipped face down right now, I could just flip it face up and then like crash it, link it off, whatever, to like trigger its grave effect. This is the it was not a misplay, it was a misclick that I did. I accidentally clicked on Ritual of Light and Dark. I accidentally, because I put like one of the Ritual of Light Darks here, I actually accidentally thought I had 2 engrave, and I clicked on one of them. This is what fucked me over, because this should not have happened. You go Ritual of Light and Dark, he can't stop it. You add like Grifo or whatever, and then you go Black Chaos, cannot get dropleted. I would target his droplets just because it's an unknown. I don't know what this is. Could be Super Poly. Get rid of it, and then I can go for Demod. I can do literally everything. And then obviously, like, I would tribute one of these. So I can add back to Super Poly. He has Albaz on the field. I go Fuse into Dogma using this, and like something else. I guess this, like these 3, just use Super Poly, which is disgusting. I can go Pot of P, draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Yeah, it's actually just ridiculous. Like, I would auto win in this position. I can also just add back Chaos Stats if I want. Like, yeah. So this actually gives him a chance. I should have OTK'd him here, but we'll just drag the duel out, I guess. We'll see what happens. So he goes Droplet on Celtic Sage. I was initially going Celtic Sage to not only draw 3, which would have drawn into actually insane. I would have won with this. There's so many win cons against Branded. Like, I think Chaos is just leagues above Branded in terms of power level. He's gonna Droplet the Celtic Sage. I was hoping I can use the secondary effect to actually summon this, but he's gonna stop all of that. We go Demod, no effect because Harmonia, and then he goes Albaz, Fuse, into Dogma. Okay, maybe he should have made Mirror Jade. I don't think Dogma was necessary, but okay. So now we go Fallen of the White Dragon. We are going to go into Ecclesia Synchro, activate Ecclesia Synchro, and then go into this. I can't fuse into anything because I don't play Mirror Jade at the moment, and the only target is Dogma, and I can't fuse with this. So Dogma is not a legal play I can make. Instead, I go Blazing Cartesia. I can do some stuff with that. So we're going to get this back, get back the Ecclesia, and then we are going to set the Fallen the Virtuous, and we are going to pass over to our opponents. Look at how much he's plussing. It's like grind game versus grind game. So like, who has the better grind game? This is basically what this duel is. So we're going to go Cartesia, Fuse into Granganol. We're using the Archfiend, and now we can triple chain here. We go Granganol, send, and then chain the, what do you call it? The Archfiend to chain link block from Nash. And then we can activate the effect to banish it, summon Lulu. Lulu is like, actually, yes, Lulu is, has to be like on this highest chain here, because I can't banish this and then use the effect to like send. You can only use the effect to send first, and then banish it. So the banish has to be on chain link 3. Most importantly, like, we want to chain link block the Archfiend here. And then we also go for Ecclesia. I have to do this now because he's actually using Quem to summon his Albaz to fuse with my board. So because he's turn player, he actually uses his Albaz first, and then I use my Albaz after that at the higher chain, and I actually fuse with his cards. So I basically check him here. So he probably would not even like trigger his Albaz, just so he might be able to use it later instead. So we sent the Swordsman just to get it in rotation with the Granganol, and then we're going to add a Luster Soldier, and now he doesn't even activate. So look at this. He goes Cartesia. I do not chain Fallen Virtuous. He goes Ecclesia Synchro. I also do not chain the Fallen Virtuous. Whatever he summons into, I actually fuse with. I was thinking this was going to summon a kit because it triggers in the grave. And that's completely fine. Actually doesn't do anything here. Look at this. So he goes into, this is a very good play. He goes Albion Sanct because it can't be fused with, and it also cannot be targeted. So I can't target it with the Lulu, and I can't target it with the Fallen Virtuous. And then he forces me to fuse with this so that he can revive one of his cards. I go Dogma though on the highest chain, so I can actually shuffle back whatever he wants to summon. And what do you guys think he wants to summon? This doesn't target, but you can already tell what he wants to summon. He wants to go Albaz to like summon a Ecclesia, and then he can obviously go into... Does he play any other Lovely Synchros? No. But he can obviously make his plays because he goes like Ecclesia and then the Albaz. I'm not sure if he can actually shuffle his back at the moment. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But he can do a lot with the Albaz stuff. So he actually goes Branded Retribution, add back the Fallen Virtuous. We're going to shuffle back his Ecclesia Synchro and the Albaz. This is just going to get rid of the Synchro because it's so annoying. Super grindy, so get rid of it right now. And this actually means that he has to go into it again. So he needs to revive the Quem and then have a level 4 in the hand. And then he has to choose between Branded Fusion and Ecclesia Synchro. What do you guys think he's going to choose? He has Fallen the Virtuous, okay, to pop this. This is why I actually wait on this. There's no reason for me to use it. Then he keep waiting so that he can use this to out the Fallen Virtuous. Then we can chain it. So we are actually going to summon from grave. I actually don't even have any target to like pop, but even if I did, I wouldn't pop. This is for Celtic Sage. I want to draw 3 with Celtic Sage here. I'm basically digging for a multiplying Karibo. This is all, by the way, because like we misclicked on the Ritual Flank Dark. We're basically like fighting for our lives here. We're gonna draw 3, draw into Pot of P. Okay, so if this duel goes for another turn, which most likely it will because we have a huge unaffected monster, we are going to probably win. Okay, so he's gonna attack. He just can't keep up with the chaos. I guess interruptions being summoned out of nowhere. And like the infinite follow-up that we have. It's actually crazy that this deck outgrinds branded. It's also like partly branded, so we do get lots of stuff adding back, like these, for us as well. So he's actually gonna go add Mercurial, and then he's gonna negate my Dogma, which actually was threatening a lot of insane plays, because I can add a Fallen Virtuous, revive from grave, and do a lot of stuff. So he negates it, which is fine. I also have Lulu in grave, which can trigger to summon a Spellcaster Light that has same attack and defense, like Cartesia, Ecclesia. But they're both in grave. So after I add them from the hand, I can actually use them. So here I can actually use Lulu to summon one of these, but there is no reason. This can special summon itself from the hand whenever I want, and then Ecclesia can special summon itself whenever I want. I don't want to put them in harm's way for him to be able to fuse with them immediately. I'm actually going to make some crazy plays here. So we're going to Corrupted Ritual. That's actually very good. But I already had the Swordsman in rotation with the Ritual Flight and Dark to add it back. And basically, look at this. This has been crazy. Crazy grindy. So we go Pot of P, this is game. This is literally this game. Look at this, okay? We drew literally everything, even Super Poly. And I put Super Poly back because I actually have a Super Poly engraved. This is disgusting. Look at this hand. Gaze optimize immediately into Dragoon, GG. He goes into this to Alba. He can't even like go into the OG Albaz. Where's OG Albaz? It's right here. But even if it was in the deck, Dragoon would negate it. So we are going to go for this. We add the second swordsman back with Ritual of Light and Dark just so we can put a Mind Shuffle, and then we can summon this. This is affected, but it doesn't matter because I know this is Fallen Virtuous and he has no other interruptions. So if he goes Fallen Virtuous on this, I just spin it back some Black Chaos. And then if he uses anything else, after like I banish like Quem, he goes like Sanct, boom, activate this, spin it back, summon. Yeah, he's just completely checked here. He tries to hit the Ecclesia Synchro, we just revive the Albaz, and then we can get Ecclesia from the hand, and then we can go into Victim Sanct, which is going to check another card activating in response. We're going to shuffle our stuff back, especially OG Albaz and Dogma, just so I can fuse with him if I need to. And then we can go into Cross Sheep using these two. And look at this. Trigger this to add a Lost Soldier that I put back with the Swordsman, summon a Black Chaos, and then we are not going to trigger the Cross Sheep. Add back Super Polymerization. Disgusting. Okay. We're going to banish this Quem. And then go in the battle phase. This is just in case you had like Nib or something. I don't actually care about Nib, but it lets me play around it because I will not have like a proper discard to go for game. So then I will just change up some of my plays so that I could put up lethal and attack, right? So Super Poly in the battle phase, he has Albaz on the field, and I shuffled back my Dogma just so I can go into it. It's one effect monster, one lighter dark, and Fallen of Albaz. So 3 of his cards immediately gone, and one of them was banished by Black Chaos. Look at this. Shuffle back his cards. Attack for 700 here. He doesn't take damage. Attack for this is gonna do. How much is that? Like 1,700, I think, and then 28, 25, 3,000. And then we can go Curtain for OG Dark Magician, attack for game. If this was not already game. Yeah. That was pretty crazy. So let's actually watch another branded one. This is a branded Synchro, actually. Yes. Okay, so in the draw phase, we're going to go for this. This is, I think this build had Ash Blossom, if I'm not mistaken. So we add both of these. We are going to go Ritual Flight and Dark, add back the Grifo, activate Ritual Flight and Dark, tribute the Grifo, add... Okay, he actually... Okay. He goes Bestial on this, which actually does kind of hurt a bit, but it's fine. Again, like, Bestials do hurt, but they're not like, you know, game over. So we're going to banish it face down, and then we are going to go for Dark Magician, fuse into Granganol, and then we are going to send another Archfiend, okay. And then revive the Archfiend. So we get the Archfiend in rotation anyway. And then we can go for Curtain, summon OG Dark Magician, and set him pass. So here I actually did not care about him adding a Bastille in the end phase because I do have this, and then I can discard it, and I can still use my Gaze. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. So I spin it back, summon Luster Soldier to banish him, and then we also get to draw 2. In the end phase, by the way. Called by... Okay, I wish I had this so I can set it. Not in the end phase, but okay. So we are going to discard the Dark Magician just so our Gaze is going to be live. Then we go into this, and this is going to trigger again to draw 2 and also revive from Grave. We don't actually have... Actually, we do have Cartesian, yes. And then if we draw into Albaz, we can fuse with that as well. So, like, you can see how much, like, work Cross Shape puts in. Draw into the Celtic Sage, okay. He pops my Mind Shuffle, which is annoying, but I do have another one. Man, 2 Mind Shuffles is just so good. Like, actually just insanely good. This is what I'm talking about. Like, if they pop your Mind Shuffle and, like, you don't have access to another one, like, it's just game over, probably. Here we don't care. We spin back the Luster Soldier, summon this, just so we can add a discard for our Dragoon. Then he goes Albaz. We are going to let that happen. Actually, this doesn't matter. Wait for him to go OG Albaz, but he actually goes Chaos Archfiend. I was not expecting that. Who's even playing this right now in Branded? That completely caught me off guard. Because then he goes like OG Albaz, I negate it, and then he loses, right? And then this is going to check a lot of stuff. Because his deck resolves around like reviving Albaz, or having Albaz in Grave, or Ecclesia, or whatever. So this is super lethal for his deck. And then Luster Soldier banish, like, yeah, that would be just very bad for him. But this is actually crazy, because like it banishes everything it attacks, and does a lot of damage. He thought this was lethal, but you have a Bastille. So in Summon Defense, he has to attack over it and fizzle the attack. Shuffles my Mind Shuffle into the deck. Okay, and then sets and passes. Okay, he can't go Brand Fusion because he's locked into Synchros here. And yeah, we are going to outgrind him here. So we're going to go Albaz. He goes Droplet, that's fine. They do play Droplet a lot, so like you definitely should be expecting Droplets quite often. So we are going to hit the kit so it doesn't revive an Albaz. Draw 3, and then activate this, shuffle back the Dragoon, and then go for this Luster Soldier, banish the back row. Okay, Brand Retribution, though, wasn't really doing anything. I don't think he actually had any targets, yep. Add back the Celtic Sage, go for Archfiend, summon, and then we are going to attack. Gain another attack, and then this is going to be 45 and 25 per game. Nice. And then Branded Synchro 2. Let's see. He is gonna... This is a new card that they've been playing a lot. It does play hard into draw, but like Branded doesn't care too much about draw. Like in this scenario, yes, like it does kind of hurt, but like then again, like you can go Ecclesia Synchro and just like sit on that, which is very good in Branded still. So that's why they are playing this card. Just like gets Mercurier banished and then triggers the Mercurier to add OG Albaz. Now this is where I would draw him. And then he probably just wouldn't care here. I don't know why he banished this. That was a horrible play. But, okay. So we're going to trigger the Multiplying Crable to actually summon a OG Dark Magician. Yep. Another reason, like, the OG Dark Magician is good. It's only bad when you draw it. Aside from that, like, this card's very good. Then we can add a Lost Soldier. He goes for this. We trigger this. And we are going to summon a Lost Soldier. No effect. This is actually complete mind games. Like, this is not because I wanted to banish anything or a misplay. This makes him, look at this, he goes Quem over something else because he thinks I might banish one of his cards. But this is, I'm not even triggering this. This is just here. Look at that. Okay, because he went Quem, I can banish him now, but if he had went Cartesia, I would just like sit on the Lost Soldier, no effect. And then I would spin it back, summon this, and then summon it later to banish one of his cards in the end phase. He goes Droplet, he doesn't know this is unaffected, I guess, off of the Droplet. Then we spin it back because I think he was targeting it with something. The Drewsworm, I think. So then he goes for Omega. Look at this. Like, we made him end on this board. This is crazy. This board is basically like nothing. So in the end phase, we go Luster Soldier. We already used the effect. But we want this in hand so that we can do some disgusting stuff with it. So we're going to add a Grifo because he used this effect. Then we are going to set a Chaos Hats. We're not locked with Harmonia. Look at this. Anima checks the Ecclesia Synchro. So he goes summon Ecclesia. We are going to suck it up. He goes Ecclesia. We are going to go Called by the Grave. He tries to summon it to dodge the Called by. We are going to spin back the Luster Soldier. Oh my god, look at that. We're going to spin back the Luster Soldier and then he chains Ecclesia Synchro. We chain Multiplying Crable to that. Multiplying Crable here is super lethal because you have to put everything in defense because if you put anything in attack, whenever you use the effect, it's going to be 0, which means I can lethal you super easily. So we're going to summon a Swordsman here. I think we're unaffected. Yes, we have a Ritual Spell Engrave, and this is game over. I guess he can fuse into Dogma here, but maybe I could have just not summoned Multiplying Crable, but look at this. This doesn't matter because I add back the Ritual Spell. This means I can't activate Spellcasters or Dragons, so this is turned off at the moment. But then we go just Luster Soldier, banish it. And now we can go Swordsman, banish 2. This is unaffected. You can't Albert this. And then we are going to add a Black Chaos, activate it, banish 2. And then we go Demod. Yeah. This is so much. And I think this is lethal damage as well. Cross Sheep, attack for game. I don't think this is BM, by the way. We actually did need the Multiplying Crable because 300 over like his 0 defense monster. And then we attack over with this 45, 28, 700. Actually, that was BM. Because I could just go curtain, right? Yeah, I can literally just go curtain. No, wait. No. 28 plus 700. This is perfect lethal. Yeah, that was not BM. Okay, this is just preserving the curtain. Okay, let's watch this one against, what is this, like Centurion, Elfnotes? Okay. This is going to go for the Power Patron, Elfnote. Now, Medius the Pure is actually something interesting because you can play it in Chaos. I was testing it out. It basically just does the exact same thing that you just saw. It goes into Love Light Synchro, and guess what we can go into? Like Ecclesia Synchro, and then you can bridge into your Alba stuff. But the only reason this is not great is because with this, it actually doesn't make any other good synchros except like this. It can make the Crimson King, and it can also make the Ecclesia Synchro, and like the other Love Lights. But it's not a turn 0 play. Because this can actually be summoned off of Multiplying Karibo, you would think maybe there's a good play like a Synchro 5 or something. But this can only Synchro into Elfnote stuff and Junora, which are both like Synchro 10s and 7s, so it's not that great to be honest. But as a starter, Medius the Pure is 100% like a full true starter. Because it can basically just go Crimson King. So he is gonna continue playing. I actually don't have a way to stop him here besides Droll. I don't think Droll is actually, because he plays Centurion, Droll actually does hurts. Yeah, he scoops because of Droll, because he can't add here. He can't go access the, what do you call it, the field spell to like Synchro. This is not a real board. Like, this is not really doing anything. He can't Synchro on my turn. Yep. Let's watch this one. So this against Clown Crew under Fubo. So we have Droll and Lockbird. We are. Let's actually see if I Droll myself. I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna go Grifo set a Chaos Hats because I have Celtic Sage. So in case he has something else, I can check it with the Celtic Sage. Draw 3 and then tribute summon Black Chaos. Now under Fua and all these cards, Celtic Sage has so much value because you draw into hand traps without actually giving any draws. So we go into the D-mod and then we are going to summon, basically just give him one draw, which is also an optional draw, but I do want the Omni negate. I think it's worth it to give him a draw for an Omni. Mainly so I can guarantee Droll resolves, basically. So he goes Prayers, Tribute Saji, and the draw phase to play on Droll, okay. We're gonna Chaos Hat the Saji, just in case he doesn't have the Ritual spell. And then I have Dragoon to check him, and if he searches anything, Droll. Okay, Corrupted Ritual, Fallen Virtuous, and Curtain. And this is also protecting our back row at the moment. So we add Luster Soldier, and now we have draw 3, Luster Soldier, this is protecting our back row, Dragoon, Droll. We're gonna Droll him here, and then we are going to spin back. Okay, because whatever he summons, I was thinking maybe like negate with this, but then again, there's actually no reason to negate the Clan Crow because it's not gonna do anything if he doesn't have two to tribute summon. So whatever he summons, one of them I just banish, which is usually gonna be the better one that like sets and enables more plays. And then he's left with one monster and nothing else, and he's under Joel, so this is completely dead. GG. Let's watch this one against Dark World. Actually, this is a very funny duel. Okay, this guy basically went on for light years. Like, this guy was on 300 plus years of comboing. I think, like, if there was, like, a time played, like they have on, like, PlayStation and Call of Duty and stuff, for this game, for this player, this guy would be on, like, 3,000 hours. And you'll actually check to see, like, his stats, how many games won, games played. Games played, 2 games. 3,000 hours of comboing. You might as well just play with yourself at that point. So I had Harmonia here. I did not use it because there's no good time. This is actually going to make... it's basically going to change the effect of Harmonia to be your opponent discards one card, which is exactly what they want. They want to discard cards from their hand. And then, where is it? There's a stupid card. Okay, there is a card that he had in rotation, which says if this card is discarded from your hand by the opponent's effect, your opponent has to put 2 cards from their hand back into the deck. So I did not want to trigger that. So then he goes card destruction, which is very risky because now you risk I draw Droll and Awkward, which auto wins against you. I guess what he's thinking is that he can negate the Droll, but what if I have like a combination of Droll and Perm? Then you just lose, right? So that was very risky. I could have nibbed, then Drolled. So yeah. So he actually triggers my Archfiend because I think it was in hand, and then look at this hand. He gave us a beautiful hand here. Even though our hand was already like okay, this is even better. So this is actually kind of disgusting because this actually enables TTT, both Talent and Thrust. So I'm going to Droll him here just so he uses this effect while this is in the grave. This, as long as it's in grave and it's not in the hand, I don't want it to like discard it by this effect of the Grapha. Then that's fine. Like, let him use it up. I could also just like not using it, not use anything, just keep the Droll in hand. So he looks at my hand, he shuffles this back, okay, so he went TTT, looked at my hand, he shuffled 2 cards from my hand back. He has this massive board, discarded my first hand to the grave, shuffles my entire hand to the grave, on turn 1, by the way. I basically just don't get to play, I have no cards to play with. Puts up Omni negates here. Because this is still an Omni, right? The only thing it doesn't negate is like quick play spells. And like anything that's not a normal trap, I think. Yeah. It basically only negates normal spells and traps and monster effects. This works like Chaos Hats, basically. It's actually literally just Chaos Hats. Yeah, except instead of discarding, it's like pop a monster. So he has SP, Omni negate with this. I think he can summon like a board wipe with this as well. Against my zero hand. Do you guys think this is winnable or not? What do you guys think? This used to be an FTK, by the way, but now because Chaos exists, this is not an FTK. Top deck Black Chaos Swordsman. Okay, how do you beat Black Chaos here? He has to negate it with the Grapho. He does. And then he goes for this. I don't know why you would do this immediately to like board wipe. I literally don't have anything. I think he thought this is just game over. He's like BMing or something. I don't even know. It wouldn't have mattered when he used it. So now he can actually make this card untargetable, and it's huge, and it just board wiped me basically. So here's the thing about chaos. We have grave effects. Okay, trigger your stuff, bro. He thinks I lost here, so look at this. Ritual spell, add back the swordsman, activate swordsman, and then we're gonna put the mind shuffle, and then we're gonna go mind shuffle, add I think archfiend, yep. Grab a black chaos, and then we're gonna go for archfiend, shuffle all of these back, summon it, and now we can attack over SP, and now we can go ritual fight in dark. Yep. Add back the ritual spell, and then we can banish his monster face down, go into Demon, and now we can add curtain. Okay, he skips. I also play cross shape, so I can can't see the grave now. So yeah. He basically should have, he thought he FTK'd me and then he just lost. So like I don't know. What about this one against like Dinos? Let's see. This is Dino GMX actually. Not just pure Dino. So we're gonna go Ecclesia Synchro. He doesn't have any hand traps, but he has board breakers. He has double droplet in hand, so if I negate one, possibly with like Dragoon, he can negate the other one. He can still activate another one, I mean. So this is the Grangnol line, if you've never seen it before. But if you've been watching my videos, like you probably have seen this a lot. Tribute the Grangnol, summon this, and then we can banish it to go into Demod, add a multiplying Krebo. And we can set and pass, and then we can still end on SP as well. Okay, we actually don't go SP because we're locked into level 8 synchros, but if we normal summoned the Albaz, we could have made them. So look at this board, basically. You do miss out on like an immediate mind shuffle, but if you went Crimson King, the only thing you would have is like probably like 3 interruptions and then the like hand traps that you have. So if we don't count the hand traps, we have multiplying Krebo, reducing to 0, which can be like a real interruption, add Grifo, access mind shuffle, and then we have Luster Soldier, so that's 2 interruptions, 3 to go into Albaz to fuse, 4 to go into Mirror Jade or Dogma, and then you also have Fallen the Virtuous. So you end on 5 interruptions actually, plus the other cards in hand, which in this case, we have 2 more interruptions, so 7 with Harmonia, and then 8 with the Joel, which is like, this basically just on itself like shuts down pretty much everything. And then actually it's not 5, it's 6 interruptions, because we also have Grangnol Engrave, which can go to a Coritis or a Despian Lulu. I think I was playing Coritis here because of the high spirits. Yeah, that's basically 6 interruptions over the 3 interruptions off of Crimson King, which is why this line is usually better. It's just that you don't get like immediate access to the Mind Shuffle. Yeah, this looks amazing. Look at that. Because we already had a Fallen Virtuous, I can actually just search another one and then use it to revive the Incredible Ecclesia here. And then I can, okay, we had Magna Hut as well, so I can actually add a Albaz to fuse with the Cartesia. Okay, I can also make Dragoon if you're wondering, like, I did miss out on Dragoon, but I can actually still make the Dragoon by using the D-mod plus the Albaz that I added off of the Magna Hut. So we're going to go Cartesia here, so that we can make that play. We're going to go Multiplying Krebo immediately, because they usually play into it. We're going to go Cartesia, summon a Dragoon, and then we are going to try to negate him. He sends a lot of cards off of Droplet. I don't think that's correct, but okay. I think he's unaffected now. His dinos are, yeah, unaffected. So we're actually going to trigger this just to make room, and then we're also going to trigger this to make Lulu, and then I still have room for Harmonia. Okay, and then we're going to draw him. Nice. So I think, okay, because he's unaffected, I can't go Harmonia or like trigger anything at the moment. He tries to pop this, we go Fallen the Virtuous, revive. His Pancratos, so he has to out this before he goes like battle phase, otherwise I would just pop one of his cards. So he can't like go for this and then like flip everything face down. So he has to go for this, which I am gonna actually negate. This is really funny, because if he tried to negate, I actually hop off with the Pancratops to pop this. And then he has to go battle phase with this, he's locked into Joel, he can't continue playing. He triggers the effect, I go Harmonia, pop it, and then he loses, like. So it doesn't matter if he negated this or not here. Yep. So we're gonna actually pop him here, and then he goes for this, flip everything face down, that's fine. And yeah. This is game over. He just realized, like, even if he outs everything, like, this is gonna trigger, these are This is gonna trigger in the end phase. Dragoon is fine in the grave. Multiplying Cribble also triggers, which is disgusting. It's actually gonna reduce them to 0 and then summon another Multiplying Cribble, add Grifo, and all of that. And then we have infinite follow-up as well. So that's like disgusting. Yeah, he can like play around the Multiplying Cribble by I think using the effect to like inflict 1k without like flipping it face up. Yep. But still, he would lose on the following turn, regardless. So this was a hero, Omni HERO, I think, with Destiny Draw. What? Destiny Draw. He's maining Pot of P. I'm not sure if he's like, if there's like a going second deck, like you send your opponent going, you send your opponent first, or what exactly, but okay. So he has Droll and Lockbird. Yep. But you know what the difference between us is? My deck doesn't lose to Droll. His deck does, and we both have Droll. So this, you can see like, okay, sure, you Drolled me. Let's see what I end on. I can summon OG Dark Magician, but I'm not going to do that because I have Harmonia. So instead, I'm going to add a Grifo to get Chaos Hats. So one interruption of Chaos Hats. We have another Multiplying Cribble, which is a real interruption. We just save this for the battle phase if he tries to attack. Especially since this deck is an OTK deck. He's not going to be able to lethal. He just reduces everything to 0. And the best part is they can't even play around it. They have to go Contrast Hero. That's 2 interruptions. Droll, 3 interruptions. This is just game over if they don't have Called by the Grave. Harmonia, 2 more interruptions. That's 5. Lost a Soldier, 6 interruptions. Can I actually get this in Grave? Yes, actually. Oh, that's insane. We go add Black Chaos, discard this, add Lost a Soldier. So we have tag and tag outs. Disgusting. That's a lot of interruptions here. This is under Droll and Lockbird. This is something heroes cannot do, which is why Chaos is obviously better than heroes. So he's gonna go Stratos, go ahead search, and then lose. So we're gonna trigger this, add Grifo. Adds Vine. He's actually playing. Okay, this is smart. He's actually playing around Droll, but it doesn't make a difference because he's not gonna beat all of this under Droll. It's impossible, literally. So now he's under Droll. He goes Fountain, so that he can set a Mask Change, and then he goes Wonder Driver, Miracle Ejector, Summon, and then he is gonna banish everything to go into the Death Dogma. Now I just trigger the Harmonia. He triggers to fuse into DPE, which is fine because now I just pop this and then trigger this to pop push him into the back row. And then if he chains anything, boom, spin this back, summon Black Chaos, and then we also set Chaos Hats. And now he can't pop our back row. This cannot be popped, and he has to pop Multiplying Cribble. I guess he doesn't know, or he just doesn't care because he knows he lost. Either one is like whatever. Now we summon Lesser Soldier, and now we can banish his back row, so he doesn't have Mask Change, and he ends on this. Basically, you get to see like Droll versus Droll. Like, yeah, the deck doesn't lose to Droll. So now we go Anima. He's like, yeah, this is just too much, bro. We're gonna suck up his Wonder Driver, and then yeah, like the Phoenix Enforcer is pretty much checked because if he used anything, I spin this back some Black Chaos, and nothing on my field can be popped, except like the relinquished Anima, which doesn't matter. I can also go Chaos Hats, and then summon this, tribute one of the spells, basically searching the spells that I want. And yeah, he's just not gonna win. How about we watch this one against Enneacraft? Since I do have like people who watch my videos as well, like watch Enneacraft. Let's see how you guys are playing Enneacraft. So we're gonna go for this. Okay, Fallen Versus here on the Mind Shuffle actually does hurt. I do have to do this early usually because they have Mar. Mar can negate me. I can't use it in the end phase. They can immediately summon stuff to like trigger their effects and gain tons of advantage. So this is, once I see it's Enneacraft, immediately just go for this. So we have a dead Nibiru. I think, playing 1 Nib in the deck at that point. So he is, okay, I'm not sure why he's doing it in the sequence. I disagree with this. I think he's prioritizing Rebirth over everything else. Did you see that, guys? Like, he shuffled his entire hand and like YOLO'd. I hope, you know, I get Enneacraft that I have not used already, so I can trigger their effects. This is basically what he did just now. That's a very bad combo. You definitely don't do that. You save Rebirth for last. If you don't draw it, who cares? And you don't shuffle all your cards. 100% not. Because look at this. Now he ends on like Promeria, Pixia, Mar. This is not really great. Book of Eclipse can like reset them, but like Mar is not really a real interruption without the Rebirth. Infuse Rebirth against Chaos, it actually doesn't do anything. And against other decks, like although it can be like useful, it's only really one interruption because you can't flip it face down and like trigger it again unless like someone attacks over it. Pixia, you want to keep face up anyway, so it's not actually an additional interruption. So it's one interruption, two interruptions. This is the only thing that you want to flip face down. So like 4 interruptions plus this, which is 5 because it's also flipping my cards face down. And that's pretty much it. I guess you can like reset this as well again, giving him like an additional interruption. But aside from this, like, I guess Fallen Virtuous as well. Yep. So this is like, the combo he ended on here is not good. There should have been like, at least like 10 interruptions. You go like, tons of stuff. You have Orgia, Tormeria, whatever. This is very weak. So we're gonna go Corrupted Ritual here. Unfortunately, Nib is dead, so we're gonna go Ritual of Light and Dark. And then I was thinking he might have Pixia here. So just play around the Pixia, we tribute the Nib, and then we go for this. Basically, this is like telling him, go ahead and flip Pixia if you have any balls. Because if he flips up Pixia, it actually doesn't trigger to banish because this is unaffected. And you just swing over it and then gain 15, attack over the other big monster, and GG. This is unaffected by like the Rebirth. So we're going to banish his Fallen Virtuous because this is the only thing posing a threat. I don't want him to pop my Mind Shovel. Then we go for Ritual of Light and Dark, go Chaos Swordsman, and then also set a Chaos Hats to check. Actually, okay, this is a misclick. I meant to set a Chaos Hats and I accidentally set another Mind Shuffle. But we win anyway, like it doesn't actually make that much of a difference. It was basically just like checking anything like this, which is a quick play. You can't use it on a quick play. And this also doesn't affect my monsters anyway, and I'm gonna go Black Chaos banish it. So yeah. Let's watch this one against, what is this, like Cash Hero? Oh, I'm not watching that shit, bro. Hell no. Okay. How about we do like Vanquish Soul Canine? Okay, so Stake Your Soul. His hand's actually insane. For a Vanquish Soul hand, this is Stake Your Soul. Jokel plus Lupus. This is one off, by the way. Reveal Lupus, and then also has Raisin and a Called by the Grave for any hand traps. This is probably like what you would like to have as a hand for Vanquish Soul Canine. Very, very powerful. No interruptions, but like for going first, this is disgusting. So we're gonna trigger Multiplying Rainbow, we're gonna add a Grifo. Unfortunately, he has Call By. Call By is like the main thing we just always lose to. It's really, really annoying, but yeah, let's just see what happens. He goes Call By on Grifo. Awesome. That is very fun. So we're gonna trigger. I don't know why you would use Jokel here. You always go Ripper. Detach the Jokel, add Lantern, revive this, and then you can use both under the protection of Ripper. So you go Pack Bits. We attempt to actually push his Lupus into the back row. This is a good play that he actually spins it back to the hand. And then we are going to basically search a Black Chaos. This also gives us the setup for a Swordsman. And the thing about Vanquish Soul Canine is they actually can't beat the Swordsman with the setup. Because they can't shuffle back or get rid of your Ritual of Light and Dark. Okay, so basically what he's doing here is he's gonna full combo with Vanquish Soul Canine. This is like the board that people are afraid of, basically, or used to be afraid of. Because this is one of these, like, quote-unquote unbreakable boards, right? Which is understandable, like, almost every deck cannot break this. This is disgusting. Look at that. He also has hand traps. He drew into the bell, by the way, I think off, like, a random draw or some shit. I think it was Borger, right? He drew off that. So, yeah. Okay, off the top, we actually get Fallen the Virtuous, which is actually goes even with his Called by the Grave, because Called by was super sacky. That was a one-off. At least this is a two-off, right? And searchable. We soft deck Fallen the Virtuous. This actually hurts him a lot here, because he can't go Forced Liberation on this. This is only the main phase, so I can actually pop the Ripper. He loses out on the Ripper effect, which is very powerful. You can see he's checking both of these with the Ripper. And then the Forced Liberation, pop, plus look at the hand. This is very, very powerful. So getting rid of both of these, loses 3 interruptions, is actually very horrible for him. So he's going to draw an additional card here. Okay. Also, it was kind of sacky that he also drew into the bell off the Borger. That was just like a random draw. And it's actually a very powerful card against us. So what I do is actually go Swordsman. Boom, summon. He tries to pop it, doesn't work. Okay, tries to negate it again. You already saw it doesn't work, but okay. And then he scoops. Like he's just like, yeah. This is a shame scoop, by the way. He also had Izuna. He had Izuna Raisin, I guess. Take control, or there's nothing really to summon. Just take control, I guess. Maybe you can summon this and like spin something back, but yeah, it's not really doing anything. And then Bell. I think he still might have had a chance, maybe. But because I use a spell, I can go like demod and stuff to bait some stuff out. Like basically comes down to like skill as to like who's gonna win this duel. But he should probably have not scooped here, and if he had played this better and not like wasted these, I would have had to banish these, because now I just can skip these, banish these two. He loses out on Raisin and this, and he only has Bell, Izuna. Yeah, and then I'm not sure what this can even go into. Like, he already went Nash Knight, so maybe like Jax is the only thing I can think of. Yeah. And then White Forest. We'll make this the final duels here. Okay, so I actually go first. I brick because of Ash Blossom. But this is fine. Like this is still a very good hand, even if I pass on nothing. This is what I like about the deck, right? So he's gonna go Deception. We're gonna Ash that. He is gonna go Sylvie. We are going to multiply Karibo. I maybe should have normal summoned multiply Karibo in case, because I actually forgot they have a way to actually chainlink block and get rid of multiplying Karibo. And I think he's gonna make that play. Okay, so he goes. He put the chainlink order incorrectly. Yeah, I think maybe he could have won here, but this is 100% incorrect. You always put this chainlink 1 and this chainlink 2, and then you can flip this face down so it doesn't trigger. I would have been able to play around it if I normal summon multiplying Karibo and then kept this in hand, and then after he makes this play, I can actually just special multiplying Karibo, and then he has to play into it. And then I make all these plays, and he can't kill my Luster Soldier. So now, because he misplayed, I can add a Grifo, and he is gonna add Bellstar, okay, and then I'm gonna actually Harmonia this. Why? Because I thought he was on Demod, which actually I don't think he was. Yes, but it's still the correct play to get rid of this if you don't have knowledge that he's not playing Demod. So then we spin this back to the hand, so he doesn't obviously go Demod here. You already summoned this, and then we can go Mind Shuffle. So because we have Archmage in hand, we can get both rituals here. So we are going to add a Black Chaos and Luster Soldier, and now we have Tag and Tag out. So actually spin this back, and I want to banish this as Stellar. Yep, and then he goes for this, random draw 1. He also has the field spell, so he can still continue. Super Poly is not really doing anything, can't use it on my rituals. So all you want to do is just sit on Luster Soldier because he can't out it. If he targets it, you want to spin it back. He makes another misplay here. Tries to target my Mind Shuffle. This is incorrect. You don't do that ever. What he should have done is actually go for this, the Vengeance, which I think he can still make. And then yeah, because he has the Sylvie engraved, so he can shuffle this back, summon it, and then use it with this to go into the Vengeance. And then Vengeance has an effect that says during the main phase, you can target one face-up monster on the field or either grave, place it face up. So he would target this to place it face up in the spell and trap zone, which it would be effective, so I'd have to spin it back, and then he chains this to pop the Mind Shuffle. This is the correct play, but he does not see that line. So we're going to add a Worship Black and Dark here, and then he can't go Battle Phase to attack over Black Chaos, because that would not be lethal, and then I have like Harmonia in hand, which he knows of, and I have like tons of like follow-up. He would just lose. So he tries to go for this, and then I just spin it back, and this still triggers, even if it's face down, if it's attack into, even if I use the effects. Once it's face down and then face up again, I can still use the effect again, because it's a soft once per turn. So because he doesn't have any other monsters, I'm not going to summon more multiplying Karibo, just add a Grifo. And yeah, look at my hand. We bricked game 1, turn 1, and look at this hand now. We basically played on the opponent's turn. We accessed Engine on the opponent's turn, we hand trapped them to death. We did all that on the opponent's turn, basically. And we didn't play into any hand traps. So you can see he had Nib from turn 1, and he just could never use it. And I play around Nib because he didn't scoop just yet. I was thinking he probably has Nib, and he's banking on Nib. Nib would not actually tribute this. It doesn't really matter. I would still win because this attacks over against another attack, attacks for 45, and 45 is game. So yeah, but I still play around it by doing 4 summons. And now we attack for game. Nice. And then game 2. Okay, so I'm not sure why you would not use that in draw phase. That just played into draw for no reason, but okay. So it goes Deception, and then I don't have any hand traps here. I just have the Grifo to set up my Swordsman play, and that's it. Okay, I don't think their deck has a way to actually get rid of my grave cards, so they can't get rid of Ritual Flight in Dark, which means this is always going to be unaffected. The only way they can stop it is they have a way to negate a summon, which I don't think they do. So it goes Curse of Diabel. It's fine if he pops my shuffle. I already got what I wanted set up with the Swordsman. And this play is super slept on. Like, I think this is one of the best plays. Just setting up Swordsman, not doing anything. And then just special Swordsman and wait for a response. They have to out the Mind Shuffle here. He has to pop it, he has to banish it, he has to get rid of it by any means. Otherwise, he would lose. This is like one of the most threatening cards. Even like just one face-up trap on the field doing nothing at the moment is still the most threatening card in like the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. Because this is disgusting. Look at this. He doesn't out it, okay? Look what happens when you don't out the Mind Shuffle on your turn. Swordsman, banish 2. Okay, sure, go ahead and summon. Whatever you summon gets banished, but he summons Formula Synchron, which I actually don't care about. Triggers it, boom, Mind Shuffle, spin it back, summon Lesser. Banish the Woes in the back row. He goes, Chaos Angel, I have player priority to activate first, so I can just activate first and then spin it back to the hand, summon another Swordsman. Okay, wasted Chaos Angel. And then he goes into Sylvie, which is fine. And then I can banish 2 more cards. This is unaffected, so I don't even have to do anything, but I actually go Chaos Hats because I want to search my spells because this is summoned with a light monster, it's unaffected by activated monster effects, so I actually want to get Fallen Virtuous to pop it. Look at this. We go Chaos Hats, we are gonna put Fallen Virtuous, Brandon High Spirits, and Cold By. And now we can go Demon. And then we can also add a Black Chaos here, discard the Swordsman. And then we can activate the Ritual Flight in Dark. Go into Ritual Flight in Dark. Boom, summon Black Chaos. Add back the Fallen Virtuous. We can go for this now. Now we have Dragoon checking anything. We can pop him with the Fallen Virtuous. Activate this, banish him face down. And then we can go for Blazing Cartesia, fuse into Granganol. Send a Glazy Synchro. Spin this back and attack for game. We also shuffle back his stuff because he had the Sylvie Engrave, which can like shuffle back one of the Synchros to summon itself. To block lethal, but Dragoon was again negated. I think he had another card that can do this. I'm not sure if there's another card that can do this. There might be actually, but I'm not sure. But either way, this would also trigger. I can just go into like Lulu. I'm not locked into anything if he does that. And then the Archfiend obviously is checking him, so he has to use everything now. Otherwise, he can't. So yeah. And then I can just like spin this back, some lesser double attack. So I would 100% have lethal here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.